1926.50a. The employer shall ensure the availability of medical personnel for advice and consultation on matters of occupational health. 1926.50b. Provision shall be made prior to commencement of the project for prompt medical attention in case of serious injury. 1926.50c. In the absence of an infirmary, clinic, hospital, or physician that is reasonably accessible in terms of time and distance to the worksite, which is available for the treatment of injured employees, a person who has a valid certificate in first aid training from the U.S. Bureau of Mines, the American Red Cross, or equivalent training that can be verified by documentary evidence, shall be available at the worksite to render first aid. 1926.50d. 1926.50d.1. First aid supplies shall be easily accessible when required. 1926.50d.2. The contents of the first aid kit shall be placed in a weatherproof container with individual sealed packages for each type of item, and shall be checked by the employer before being sent out on each job and at least weekly on each job to ensure that the expended items are replaced. 1926.50e. Proper equipment for prompt transportation of the injured person to a physician or hospital, or a communication system for contacting necessary ambulance service, shall be provided. 1926.50 Medical services and first aid. 1926.50 f. 1926.50 f.1. In areas where 911 emergency dispatch services are not available, the telephone numbers of the physicians, hospitals, or ambulances shall be conspicuously posted. 1926.50 f.2. In areas where 911 emergency dispatch services are available, and an employer uses a communication system for contacting necessary emergency medical service, the employer must. 1926.50 f.2i. Ensure that the communication system is effective in contacting the emergency medical service, and 1926.50 f.2.2. 1926.50 f.2.2a. When using a communication system in an area that does not automatically supply the caller's latitude and longitude information to the 911 emergency dispatcher, the employer must post in a conspicuous location at the worksite either 1926.50 f.2.2a.1, the latitude and longitude of the worksite, or 1926.50 f.2.2a.2, other location identification information that communicates effectively to employees the location of the worksite. 1926.50 f.2.2b. The requirement specified in paragraph f.2.2a of this section does not apply to worksites with readily available telephone landlines that have 911 emergency service that automatically identifies the location of the caller. 1926.50 g. Where the eyes or body of any person may be exposed to injurious corrosive materials, suitable facilities for quick drenching or flushing of the eyes and body shall be provided within the work area for immediate emergency use. First aid supplies are required to be easily accessible under paragraph section 1926.50 d.1. An example of the minimal contents of a generic first aid kit is described in American National Standard, ANSI, Z308.1-1978, Minimum Requirements for Industrial Unit-Type First Aid Kits. The contents of the kit listed in the ANSI standard should be adequate for small work sites. WH. And larger operations or multiple operations are being conducted at the same location. Employers should determine the need for additional first aid kits at the worksite, additional types of first aid equipment and supplies, and additional quantities and types of supplies and equipment in the first aid kits.